But what I wanted to do is go in and introduce John Gleason. John, would you like to kind of say a little bit about yourself, maybe where you're from and what you're doing with Godless Engineer?
Yeah. I'm the Godless Engineer. I'm on Facebook. You can get there by going to godlessengineering.com. It automatically directs you to the Facebook page. We just, try to post informational stuff and, concerning the Bible, my personal retorts to some images that you might see on Facebook. I've been doing a lot of those lately. Some of them have been pretty good. And then we also have a group, Godless Engineering, and that's basically just a place. We're trying to build a place that's safe for atheists to congregate, share their thoughts and ideas. It's proven to be a lot more difficult than I originally intended, as gathering large groups of people tend to do.
Definitely.
Let's see about Godless Engineer. I started that page back in November of 2012, right after my 27th birthday, and I did it because I found myself being an atheist in the South. Everybody and their mother around me were Christians, of course. So I created the page after two close relatives of mine actually deleted me from their friends list because I commented on a post that was a Christian post, and it said believing in God is something. I was like, a crutch for the mentally weak is what I wrote on there, and that immediately got me defriended by close relatives. So after some heated exchanges with relatives, I just decided to create a page that I could express my thoughts, beliefs, and whatnot. So how I started with it was I was pretty much using the page to comment on other pages, and that got me some visibility, and I also started making my own images, mainly quote images first, and then I kind of got a little bit more confident, and I actually posted some some of my own opinions about things. And that's kind of where it started taking off at.
You get into doing more video-related stuff.
Yes, I am. That's the YouTube channel that you mentioned. I'm the reason why I started doing that and being a lot more visible is because I'd always get these messages whenever Christians would attack my page, and might I say, it really does help when you start off with "You're gonna burn in hell" as your post or message to me. That's
how I start all my Christmas cards.
That was good.
But yeah, so I started doing videos, editing them together, and I watched a lot of popular atheist YouTubers like Jacqueline Glenn and Amazing Atheist, Dusty, Cult of Dusty. I watched a lot of those guys and kind of noticed how they did things and whatnot. So I just kind of started doing my own stuff, throwing them in there. And right now my views are pretty much in like couple hundred to 400. Actually, right now I'm treading on thin ice on my YouTube account.
What do you mean?
Well, I've got 2 strikes against me already.
I'm excited. So what are these strikes for?
Okay, there is this cult in Tennessee that they have this William Branham the Message type cult, right? And I don't know if you've heard of this guy, but if you think about fundamentalist Christian, they're right on par with the Westboro Baptist Church, basically. So I had a friend of mine message me through the page, and she told me about their website, right? And me being a software engineer and with a heavy focus in web design and web applications. I was able to grab a certain sermon of his that talked about how it's wrong for interracial couples to be together. And he goes on a 17-minute rant about how he won't marry an interracial couple, and how it's just wrong in the eyes of God for races to mix, basically. And he was trying to sound like he was coming from a place not of racist hate, but of concern and like being proud of having different races. And so, anyways, I posted it, and it was up for about a week, right, with almost no activity. And then the right person saw it. And Raw Story did a news article on it, and a whole bunch of others, and they used my video.
Nice.
And I ended up, when it got taken down, I ended up with about 65,000 views on it. And the reason why I have two, because they actually filed a copyright claim on it, and that's what got it taken down. So that's strike one. Strike two on my account is when I posted his quote-unquote apology. And I say quote-unquote apology because it wasn't an apology. This was it. This was all it was. I am not sorry I have that opinion. I'm sorry that you heard it.
Crazy.
And so I posted that up, and of course they reported it, and it got taken down.
So it's
Wait, what website is it that's saying that is against the rules? What are we talking about?
This is Happy Valley Church in Tennessee.
Oh.
You guys trying to get some on YouTube.
Yeah. He just he was totally racist, and he's not even sorry about it.
That is extremely racist.
It is, and he's got another one that I've been editing on for a while because honestly, this racist bullshit I can only take so much of. I've been editing a video where he goes on a complete sermon about how women are the pathways to hell. And,
well, they are.
Yeah, I'll second that one.
Hey, we are the nicest and we're the best.
Oh, shut up.
And you were
not as pretty and
Get
not
thee behind me, Satan.
jealous. You haters. That's what I call y'all.
Well, and apparently women completely control a man's actions by what she wears. And so
That's probably true, too.
It depends on what actions, actually.
I kind of agree with that in a small area.
Well, I don't know. My opinion is that if you really can't control yourself enough not to rape somebody walking down the street, then you probably shouldn't be in civilized society.
So does this preacher actually preach like religious stuff, or does he just spew bigoted opinions at people?
He as far as I know, he does actually preach stuff, but where people get confused is because they believe this guy, William Branham, is some kind of prophet of God. And so
he died in 1965, so he's not preaching anymore.
No, not William Branham, but there are several churches that sprung up from his sermons and teachings, and they actually use them. They use his sermons.
That's the only reason why I know.
Oh. Yeah, the actual William Branham is dead, but there are several churches that are still preaching his quote-unquote message. And,
So, how long have you been doing videos then? Is this also from 2012 or?
No. I only recently started doing them. I think it's around December last year, I think, is when I maybe posted my first one.
And how long have you been an atheist?
I've been an atheist since I was about 25. So, I mean, it's been a few years. I was an atheist probably about a year or 2 years. before I created my page. And before then, I just really kept my opinions to myself. I was like, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm just here to work, guys. Kind of mentality. And then, I don't know. I started with the page, and I got more vocal. And I guess it was just kind of a snowball thing from there. Just getting more vocal and more outspoken. At work, I will not participate in a religious discussion anymore because all they end up doing is yelling at me. Like, I don't yell at them. It's like I'm just asking questions. And let's see, the most recent, the last one that I got yelled at in, they were complaining about the Boy Scouts allowing homosexuals to be a part of their association, and my one coworker was just like, he ended with this. He was screaming at me saying, "I don't want no homosexual around my son in Boy Scouts." And I'm just sitting there like, I'm going to my office.
Do you mind telling us a little bit about your background prior to being an atheist, and maybe what your journey looked like? What set of circumstances or things happened that maybe started you to change your beliefs on the topic, or do you mind sharing some of that?
Oh yeah. Let's see. I grew up Catholic, and I grew up in a Catholic private school. I was in Catholic private school until 4th grade, and even then, I didn't really take a lot of the teachings to heart. I was able to pick out the good stuff, like the Good Samaritan story, and basically, the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and stuff like that. So even from an early age, I was able to pick out the basics of morality, and after 4th grade, I switched to public school. We were still technically Catholic, and for a long time there, it was just kind of a non-thing. Just, we are Christian, but we don't go to church or anything. And then we moved into a neighborhood, and pretty much everybody's Christian, of course, because it's the South. And so the only way that I could really get friends was to go to church. And so that's what I did. I started going to Baptist churches and non-denominational churches and whatnot. And I really did it just to have friends. So I went through all of that, and there for a while I was really trying to get into it, but I just didn't. I know I went and saw Passion of the Christ by myself, and that was a bad idea. I got cornered by some Christians till about 3 a.m. And that was still when I was Christian, though. So, but let's see. But how I came
I gotta
to
interrupt. Did you cry when you watched Passion of the Christ?
No, I did not. I did not cry at that movie. Everybody else was around me crying, and I'm just sitting here like. It was already in the book. Did you read it?
Yeah, it got spoiled for me. One of my buddies, he went to see it drunk, and he was an atheist too, and he got kicked out of the theater because like every 10 seconds he would just ask, "Hey, is that guy supposed to be Satan?"
Well, oddly enough, in that movie, there's only, I want to say it's less than 10 minutes, or maybe not 10 minutes. Maybe I think it might be less than like 15 or 20 minutes where there's not blood or violence in it. Like, that entire movie is just violent, and it's the one that's gross the most.
Did you see that? The God who wasn't there. Have you seen that documentary?
Yes.
And did you see when they talk about the Passion of Christ and
Yeah.
over all the blood and gore and all that kind of stuff? Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Crazy when you see it like all written out like that.
Yeah. That's where I was pulling that from. I've watched that movie, that particular one, a few times. Anyway, so what pushed me closer to my atheist perspective now is I had a really devout right-wing conservative Christian friend, and he told me, like, look, if you don't consider the Bible to be the inerrant word of God, then you're not Christian, which I know now is a no true Scotsman fallacy. But at the time, I was like, well, you're kind of right. And so I knew immediately. It's like, oh, I can't say that that's the inerrant word of God. I mean, for me at least, there's there's just a lot of errors and contradictions in it, and which I'm sure we might get into later. But I couldn't sit there and say it's the inerrant word of God. I mean, to me, it was a book, and yeah, I believed in God at the time, but that's only because I didn't know anything else. Honestly, being in the South, atheist was never really considered a position. So anyways, I started thinking about it, and I'm like, well, yeah, I can't say that, so I guess I'm not Christian anymore. And so I didn't really look around at other faiths or anything like that, just because it was going to be the same thing as Christianity. And so I slowly, admitted to myself, well, yeah, I'm an atheist, and I just kind of accepted it and went with it. And like I said before, I started off keeping my opinions, my thoughts to myself whenever something would come up. But after I got really involved on Facebook and started my page and whatnot, I've really seen what religion in general does for our reality, basically, and it makes me mad every time I think about it, and so that's where some of my best stuff comes from on my page.
That's cool. What does the future look like for Godless Engineer? Do you have specific goals or things that you'd like to see done, or is this just something that you enjoy doing as a hobby, or what does that look like?
Well, I do enjoy doing it, and so I don't think that's going to change. Where I see me taking the page, and I guess what a few people around me have called the GE brand, is we have a Facebook group set up, and I'd like to see that grow a good bit, because in that group we've helped a lot of people in it. There's been at least, I think, 2 people possibly that have posted about them having suicidal thoughts and not really knowing what to do, and we've been able to get them some help, get them information to get help. Currently, right now, I'm running. I've got 2 GoFundMe campaigns for some friends that are on that they're having a tough time, and I would really like to see a point where I can actually bring in some money to actually help out people, and so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. Right now I got this shirt that says "Support Traditional Marriage." You can see it. I've run a few shirt campaigns, and every one of them that I make a little bit of a profit on. There's this charity called Homeless Nexus, I think it is now. And they actually sell my wristbands that I have them designed for me, and I generally funnel whatever extra money that I get out of the T-shirts into them, and I get various wristbands back, and then I actually hold little giveaways on the page, and I actually have a few shirts right now, Got Evidence shirts, that I plan on doing some giveaways for.
I saw that Got Evidence at the top of your channel page. I think that was really cool.
Yep.
I'm wearing my Religions of the World shirt right now. My wife got me from Hawaii. It says things like Taoism, shit happens, or atheism, there is no shit. I think it's kind of funny, but it's got a whole list of religions and stuff on there.
Yeah, I think I've seen a meme for that shirt.
Yep. We're working on a Atheist Analysis shirt right now. We've got a Kickstarter page up, and we're trying to raise a little additional money in order to make that shirt available for extra cheap. But we've got a really cool shirt design. I'll put a link to that in the video too, so you guys can check that out. But John, man, thank you so much for joining us. It's really cool to have you here tonight.